Hello guys, welcome to my car. So I thought of a new idea and I figured I'd start filming in my car just because it's different. So today's topic is going to be about my dad's heart disease. So I know that I started this YouTube channel and the first two videos were like, what is Stephanie doing? But I really wanted to come and basically just to tell women out there that life is hard for all of us, you know. Like, I've been through stuff that people have no idea that I've been through, and I just want to basically put my struggles out there to inform women that it is okay, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So today I'm going to talk about my dad's heart disease. So I don't know if I don't know who knows that my dad has heart disease. He's had open heart surgery. It's been about, let's see, my daughter's 5, so it's been about 7 years, 8, yeah, like 7 years since my dad's surgery. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was such a horrific experience for us and like my whole entire family. But to me, I felt like it hit me harder just because I am the only girl, and because I'm such a big daddy's girl that it was just incredible for me to even feel the way that I felt. But so let's backtrack a little bit. When my dad had a heart attack about 8 years ago, and what he did was, 7.5 years ago, what he did was he didn't want to scare us. So one day he woke up and he drove himself to the hospital. So we live on the Upper West Side. We do not, for any reason, go to St. Luke's Hospital just because we don't like that hospital. So we always go to Mount Sinai, which is on the east side. And if you've been to New York and if you've been to Manhattan, you guys understand what the west and the east side is. So we live on the west side. In order for you to go to the east side, you have to cross the park because we are in between. Well, we're side by side from the park. So we live, the park starts on 59th Street and ends on 110th Street. We're right on 102. So we have to cross the park to actually get to the hospital. So he got into his car. He has a big car. He has a Highlander, Toyota Highlander. So he got into the car and he drove himself, while having a heart attack, he drove himself to the hospital. And he didn't let us know he's going to the hospital. So my mom woke up and she's like, Steph, do you know where your father is? And I'm like, no, why? She was like, because he worked overtime and he came home, but now he's not home. So, and you know, us women, we start thinking the worst, right? So we were thinking, my mom was thinking that my dad was doing something great. Oh, you already know. I don't even have to explain that. So I'm like, Ma, relax. That's not what he's doing. You know that he's not doing that. So I was like, have you called the hospitals? And she's looking at me like, why would I call the hospitals? I'm like, Ma, have you called the hospitals? Like, how do we know that he's doing okay if you don't call the hospitals? How do you know that he's not in the hospital? So she's like, oh my God, I forget. I was like, all right, I'll call. So I called, the first hospital that I called was Mount Sinai because, again, that's the hospital that we go to. And first of all, it's a struggle to even get the emergency department's number off Google. Like, I had to search for like legit 5 minutes trying to find this damn number. Anyway, so I found it. I called whatever number it was there, and I called them and I told them to transfer me over to the emergency department. So they did, and I was like, hi, I have an emergency. Like, I'm trying to find my father and I just want to know if my father's there. Okay, what's your father's name? So I gave him my dad's name, John Ortiz. I gave him his date of birth, and they were like, okay, please hold. So I'm holding there for like 2 minutes. You know, I'm anxious. I'm like, where the hell is he? Like, why did he do this to us? He never done this before. So what the hell is going on? So I called the emergency department and they picked up the phone right after they had me at home for like the longest time. It was literally like 2 minutes, but it felt like forever. And they're like, yes, your father's here. Okay, can you tell me why he's there? No, we can't tell you over the phone. It's HIPAA violation. Of course, I know that because I'm in the medical field. It's HIPAA violation. Okay, is there any way that I can speak to my dad? Sure. They took they got like this portable phone or whatever, and my dad's like, "Allo." If you know like that, you know that's how he answers the phone. "Allo. Hey, pa. Hey, baby. What's up? Why are you in the emergency department?" "I had a heart attack." "What do you mean you had a heart attack? How did you get to the hospital?" "I drove myself." "Why didn't you wake us up?" "Because I didn't want to worry you guys." He was like, "What if it was nothing serious?" And we're like, "What?" Like, are you kidding? So me and my mom took a cab, and at the time we only had one car. Like, I didn't have this car. I didn't even have my license back then. My mom did, but obviously my dad took the car, and we had no car, so we took a cab. So we take a cab, and they're like, "Yeah, he had a heart attack. You know, he has to take it easy. He needs to change his diet. He needs an anti-inflammatory diet." So we all got scared, and we were like, "All right, cool." Our grandmother, his mom, had heart surgery before, so we were like, okay, this is totally hereditary, but whatever, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna change his diet. So we changed his diet. My mom went to the Dominican Republic because my grandfather passed away, her dad, so she had to go to the Dominican Republic. So it was just us kids. At the time I didn't have my daughters. It was just us, me and my two brothers, my older and my younger brother, and my dad. And we were just, you know, whatever, living day by day, doing our thing. And I remember at the time I was working at TJ Maxx across the street from my house. And one day I get a phone call from my dad, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm at the hospital again." And I'm like, "Why are you at the hospital?" He's like, I felt horrible. Like, I feel like my heart was gonna come out of my chest. So I was like, "What?" So he's like, "Yeah." So I rushed to the hospital, and he was at work, so they took him from work in the ambulance, and took him to Cornell Hospital, right, which is like on 66 something on the east side. So I went over there. I rushed. I was like, "I gotta go." I was at work. I was like, I gotta go. My dad's in the hospital. Went to the hospital. They were like, okay, so he has a few options. You know, we can go in, and basically, because he had like arrhythmia, right? So he had an abnormal rhythm in his heart. So they wanted to like not open him, but they wanted to basically like just restart his heart, right? And like to back so it could beat normally. So I was my dad's healthcare proxy. So he obviously, I have an older brother, and my older brother is super smart and intelligent when it comes to everything else, but for some reason my family always comes to me when it has to do with medical. So even though my brother is older, they come to me when it has to do with medical, so they always put me as their healthcare proxy. And so I had to make the decision, and obviously I wasn't going to make the decision by myself. I made it with my brothers, and we were like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We have to do it. And we called our mom, and we told her what was happening, and she was freaking out, and she wanted to come. And we were like, we understand what you're going through. Your dad just passed away. We got this. She calmed down. She's like, okay. So my older brother was in school, so he had to come, and everybody just came. They restarted my dad's heart. Everything was fine. He went back to a normal rhythm. He had to take it easy for a little while. And yeah, that happened. Then I'm gonna say a few months later, he had another heart attack, and that was probably the most difficult thing ever, because he had already put stents in, because his heart attack comes from the causing of his heart attack comes from fat buildup, and my dad has a protein, it's called lipoprotein A, that his fat develops faster than a normal person, so he develops a lot of fat, and it clogs his arteries. So then that right there, when he had a heart attack, it to actually see him, because he was at home, to actually see him have a heart attack, I was freaking out. I took his blood pressure, it was skyrocketing. I didn't know what to do. The ambulance came, they took him. I was freaking out. We went to the doctor. They had to keep him. The next step was that they wanted to do they wanted to do open heart surgery. Not any typical open heart surgery, quadruple bypass. So they had to take a vein from his leg, and they had to basically bypass everything to clear out his clogged arteries. Basically, they put a vein so that it could be easier for the blood to flow, so that he won't continuously get heart attacks and his blood doesn't clot. They wanted it to change his diet over again, which we had already done a year before, so we were already freaking out. But the main purpose of this video was to let you know how I saw my dad after surgery. So after surgery, guys, it was the longest surgery ever. I forget how many hours it was, but it was a lot of hours. And we were so upset because we were just waiting for so long, and they finally called us and told us that our dad was outside of surgery and in the recovery room, and we had to wait for him to get into the room. We were so upset because my dad does have 2 sisters, but we only grew up with one. So the fact that the other sister just showed up at the hospital and she got to see him first, like, we were so upset. Like, we were like, excuse me, it's not your right now for you to come and see our father. Like, we have to see him first, and then we're gonna give you permission so you can see your brother. But me and my mom looked at each other like, is she crazy? I think she's crazy. But whatever. Again, that's his sister, so we had to get over it. And so we went in there, and I saw my dad, and my dad was laying on the bed, and he was like laying down, like, he looked dead, guys. Like, he was very swollen. He looked pale, like really white. And if you know my dad is trigueñito. Like, he's, how do you say that in English? He has darker skin than me. He's like very brown skin. And so he looked pale. Do you imagine seeing a man that you've seen your whole life that is darker skin, and then you come home, and then you come to the hospital and he's just pale? Yeah, that shit was scary. So we were like, okay. So I go next to my dad, and I'm like rubbing his face, and I'm like, hey dad, and he's just like, hey baby. Like, he looked like he couldn't even talk. He couldn't even. That was a very hard experience for me. So to see him like that was it was hard. It was really hard. It was hard. And I don't even know if this is normal for people to feel the way I feel about my dad, but I know that I will die if something was to ever happen to my dad. Literally, I would die. So he was in the hospital for months. I think it was like 3 months or something. It was like really long. And we went, and dude, I love that hospital. Cornell Hospital, if you need heart surgery or any type of heart related issues that you have, go to Cornell Hospital. I'm telling you, it's part of the New York Presbyterian branch. It is the best hospital ever. And the funny thing is that I know somebody that works in the hospital. So, well, I didn't know him then, but now I do. Anyway, so it was the best experience. The hospital was amazing. The surgeon was amazing. The doctors were amazing. The nursing staff was amazing. But my dad was already just like, I want to go home. I want to go home. So by the time that they let us home, it was like we were already there for like 3 months. So we went, and we came home, and it was just, he was on disability for quite a while. My dad is a federal worker. He works for Metro North. So he was on disability. Good thing that he has an amazing job that they allow them to do stuff like that, like be on disability and do all this other stuff, and get paid for the time that you're off. So that was a blessing. but at the same time it was just like we wanted to see our dad go back to normal, so we would do everything possible to see that he goes back to normal. And it was we're a very religious family. My parents are very religious people, so they just wanted to go back to their normal lives, go back to church, go back to doing stuff. And we would get visitors from our church, and we would basically get emotional support from wherever it comes. But inside we were all heartbroken, and we were all very sad, and we just wanted our father back to normal. And we got that, you know, we definitely got that. And it's a blessing. Like, we truly feel blessed to have our dad back to normal and have him here with us. So to all you women out there, if you're a single mom, if you've gone through situations like I've gone through with my parents, like my dad's heart disease or postpartum depression that I had in my last video. If you have not seen it, go see it now. And in my first video was my view of my breakup. Women, you are much stronger than what you think you are. Okay? You think in a situation that you might die in, or you think that you're not gonna make it through. Trust and believe that with all those 3 different circumstances, I thought I was not gonna make it through at all. Like, with my breakup, I literally thought I was going to die. Like, like I did not want to wake up in the morning. And the only strength that I got, you have to hang on to something. You need to believe in something and have faith in something, whether it's God, whether it's, to me it was God, and to me it was my daughter, or whether it's something greater or something more powerful than you. I suggest that you do that, because that's the only thing that's gonna help you get through your situation. So in all 3 of these situations, my God was my main source of it all. And I was just mentally destroyed with those 3 different circumstances that I had. But you will make it through. Trust me, you will. So if you have any comments, any questions, anything, please comment below. Okay, guys? And please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the little bell for notifications for when I post new videos. And please, guys, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer any of your questions. Just please comment below. And I'll try my best to answer them. My next video will be about my mom's brain surgery. That just happened 3 months ago, guys. So basically, I'm still going through what I am going to talk about in my next video. So stay tuned about that. Our family's going through a very rough time right now. So you might want to subscribe. And I promise you, I will talk about what we are going through and what we've been through in the last 3 months. Have any questions, guys, please feel free to ask. I will be here answering everybody's questions. Thank you guys for always listening. And again, oh, before I go, please let me know if you like this car concept idea, because I really do like it. It looks very unique, you know, like very like I haven't seen. My daughter watches YouTube all day every day. Now we're stuck on the Ace family. We're so in love with them. But anyway, let us know if you like this concept of my car. Okay, I could also do another video of that too, like how I felt when I got my car, because this is my second car. So let me know. Please comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned. Thank you.